Hey everybody, Ryan from the homesteadconsultant.com here. Today I'm going to be talking about these gutters. So I would not call it a gutter. This is a rain collection system. I've had quite a few people inquire about them, so I kind of wanted to go over what they are, how they work, when you should and shouldn't use them. So first of all, there's several circumstances where you're not going to want to use them. These are really not a guttering system, as a gutter system is going to protect your building, your foundation, and things from getting water on it and doing damage. In this circumstance, or if you had a chicken coop or something else that you wouldn't otherwise worry about putting gutters on, but you want to get water from your roof. So if it's a building that doesn't have to have gutters, but you want to harvest water from the roof without getting leaves and other debris in it, this is an excellent solution. If it's a house you're wanting to protect from water with a traditional gutter system, this is not an appropriate solution. So with that out of the way, let me explain how this works. So what we have here is a 4-inch PVC. I've used some really basic pipe strap to hold it up. And I've put about 1.5 inch gap by the time you get to the end there. So it's right up against the structure here, 1.5 inch gap down there. And what it does is when the water falls on the top of this, this PVC pipe, it runs down and then it hits this edge, which I've rounded off. So this edge is basically, there's two edges 90 degrees from each other. So on either side of this, and I've rounded off this top side. So when water hits the top, it's going to split and go to one side or the other of the pipe. It's going to run down, and because of surface tension, it's going to hold on to that surface and drip in. And the leaves, instead of going in, are actually going to just continue straight down. So that's the basic premise of it. If you tip it enough, in this case, I've got about 8 feet, and I've got about 1.5 inches of drop from one side to the other. I don't even have to put a cap on the end, on either end. The water just runs and fills that 55-gallon drum quite quickly. And I also don't have a lot of roof surface. So keep that in mind. This isn't like a roof that extends 20 feet out. It's about a 5-foot roof. So the area that I'm collecting water from, it's not a huge amount of water, but it is significant in our hard rains. So that fills this 55-gallon drum quite quickly. Anytime we have even a moderate amount of rain, that drum will go from empty all the way to full. So the real benefit to this for me, since I don't have to fill a really large container and I don't have to protect this building from water hitting the ground, because I'd say about 20% of the water that comes off the roof still comes to the ground. The big benefit for me is, so far this has been 100% maintenance free. Typical gutters not only will not mount well to certain things, they'll also cost you quite a bit once you get all the different components to them, as well as the leaf block. And then even with the leaf block, you're going to be having to get up there and brush that off quite often. And those leaf blocks tend to get clogged up with kind of dirt and debris and things. So I've been a really big fan of this. I love this 55-gallon drum for watering my chickens and ducks. I just put these spring-loaded watering cups down at the bottom. And so as the ducks and chickens come over, they press their bill or beak into there and it pushes water out, so they get water, but it doesn't waste a whole bunch of water or make a big sloppy mess. This 55-gallon drum can keep my chickens and ducks and goose watered for probably a couple of months, even if I didn't have any rain. But obviously we're getting it topped off and kind of flushed out more often than that whenever it rains. So this system should be mostly maintenance free. I may dump this every maybe 6 months or so, just to make sure I'm dumping out all the water. And if we ever get a really long period without rain, I can actually just put a hose in this other side and fill it up. So to make this rainwater collection system, I'm going to need a few tools. So I've got my 4-inch PVC, which is my material. And then the tools I'm going to need are, one, a chalk line. Some of these tools you might be able to find a way around, but this is how I do it. So a chalk line, which I'm going to use to get a straight line across this pipe, a measuring tape, a 1-inch to 1 1/4 inch hole saw. I wouldn't go any bigger than 1 1/4 inch because you're going to have too big of a gap here. But you're going to need a hole saw to start the hole where then you'll use your jigsaw to run the line that you need to run. A Dremel, a cordless Dremel with a bit on it so I can round off the edges. You could also do that with a utility knife. It'd just be a little more work and a little bit harder to do. So I like using this, but like I said, you can find other tools to do the same thing. And then obviously I'm gonna need a drill to run my hole saw. So for this first side, I'm gonna use the chalk line. And the thing to note here is basically you need to line of sight with the chalk line. If I'm off to one side or the other, it'll be pretty apparent by my eye, and it doesn't have to be like super precise. So what I'm going to do is line of sight and make sure my chalk line is quite straight, and then just snap it. And then I'm going to take my hole saw and I'm going to make my first hole here where the top edge of that hole saw hits that chalk line that I just made. So I now have a hole that just touches that top chalk line that I've made on this. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Now, if you don't have a hole saw or don't have one that's the right size, you can also use a spade bit or a paddle bit in place of a hole saw. It'll just leave a lot more debris as you're drilling through the PVC. So next I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So now that I've got a reference point, I can run the second string so that it touches the bottom of these holes that I just made. And then I'm going to snap that. So now you can see that I've got two straight lines here on the reference of the bottom of these two holes that go perfectly straight on my PVC. Now I can drill a couple of more holes and cut out between the holes that I've drilled. One thing to keep in mind, and I'll show this when I get there, is that I'm going to do probably 3 sections and leave little pieces that that stay in place. Those are going to be strength members to keep the pipe from getting too weak. So now that I've got these 3 sections, I'm going to use my jigsaw to cut the lines in between them to open those sections up. And you can see I've got these sections between each 3 that is essentially webbing. So that's going to be my strength member, and I'm going to leave that intact. All right, there it is. There's one section. This being exactly perfectly straight isn't really a big deal. If you want to take a little bit more time to do it more neatly than I did, that's fine, but I'm just not worried about it being exactly perfect because this is not a guttering system. It is a water collection system, and if I lose a couple of drops because this isn't perfectly straight, I'm not worried about it. So I'm done with the cutting. Now what I need to do is pick which side of this is going to be my top, so how it's going to hang. So if I'm hanging it like this, this will be my top, and I need to round off this edge. The reason for that is so that as the water hits the top and runs down, the surface tension keeps it clung to the pipe. So I need to round this edge off. This edge can stay flat, and the idea is that when the water hits here, and if there's any leaf debris or anything, the water will cling to the pipe with surface tension and run in, and then drip to the inside of this, and the leaves and things will drip out. So this is where I was saying I use a Dremel, or equivalent of a Dremel, but you could use a utility knife or something else to scrape off the edge here to make a rounded edge. So I'm done with this one side. You can see we've got the holes cut. We've got the rounded corners so the water can run down and drip in and the leaves can run past. But if I wanted to collect more water, what I'd do is I'd actually do the same thing on the opposite side of the pipe. So exactly across, directly juxtaposed, I would do the same thing over here. And that's what I did on the off-grid bathroom. And that's because we needed to collect as much water as possible for that project. In this case, it's just going to be my chicken coop, and I really don't need to collect that much water. my barrel stays pretty full and my ducks and chickens don't go through it that fast. So one side is plenty. Partially I'm doing that because I'm lazy, partially because it's all that I really need. Well, I hope that gives you a good idea of how that system works, when to use it and when you really shouldn't, because it's not a system that works in all circumstances, but it works great on our outdoor bathroom. It works great for keeping leaves and debris out. And it works great for things like chicken coops and other small buildings where you're not too concerned about some of the water dripping near the base of the building. I hope that helps you. Let me know what you think of it. And if you have any questions or comments about it, go ahead and leave those in the comments. I'm happy to answer them.